Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Hopefully, the audio is working now. Had some audio issues earlier where I guess audio wasn't coming through. Excuse me. So hopefully this is better now. If you guys can hear it, let me know. Something went wrong with my OBS app where it didn't recognize my chat. So I think it's fixed now. I'm seeing the audio coming through. So if you hear something, let me know. I'm gonna keep going here. So audio is good. Great. Thank you very much, guys. So thanks for bearing with me. As I was saying earlier, I just came back from vacation a couple days ago. I was actually in Korea. And that's what I was saying. And it was around the same time when people who won the Korea trip from Legendary Game of Heroes, they were there around the same time. But it was just a coincidence. When I went there, that's when I found out that they were going around the same time. And I didn't get a chance to meet up with them. So hopefully you guys had a good time if you're here listening. And just wanted to say hi to everybody and hope you had a good Christmas. And I did bring back a little souvenir, my from Seoul. It's a really nice city. I really enjoyed the food there. It was really it's quite a bit of fun. So good place to check it out. So anyways, just wanted to say thanks to everybody for joining here. It's been a while, a couple of weeks, and so I'm glad to be back and streaming here with you guys. It is a light commander event, and what I wanted to do is talk about the cards here. And it's not a new mechanic, but there are a little bit of a difference to sort of like the deck itself. And so I just wanted to point those out and also help people understand whether this is a good deck or not. And so, Robert, you have a question about Bounty Hunter. What can you do with the bounty medallions you get from beating the portrait heroes in the Bounty Hunter map? Those are what you use to redeem. You can use those to redeem your bounties. So you can redeem these various rewards using them. I haven't actually been playing a lot of those, but that's where you can collect the rewards from. Okay, and so Christopher, you lived it for 3 years. Oh yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was in, I stayed in the Myeongdong area and toured around, and it was fun. I had a really good time. And so now let's get right into this. So this event, we were kind of curious what deck was going to be, what the mechanics gonna be like. And at first I thought that it might have been the reset deck where, the Master Collection card in the ultimate form creates its power gems, and then the ultra rare cards actually are the ones that will reset. But turns out that's not the case. So this is actually the same deck that we saw for Halloween, the Earth Commander deck. And so the mechanics are the same. And if you take a look, this is a Light Mystic deck. It's kind of interesting because we've seen a Light Mystic card before, and that was the Relentless Scholars. And so this is the second time that we're seeing a Light Mystic. And so the relics that you got from that event can be used in this deck as well. Although, actually, no, I think you'll power up the power gem, but I think you wouldn't want to use a Slayer relic here, but I just wanted to point out that this is not the first time we've seen a Light Slayer here. And so what I want to do is talk about this. So we've seen this before in the Halloween event, which means that this is the type of deck that would actually create a lot of power gems on its own. So this is where the Master Collection card and the Ultimate Form are all going to be really good cards on their own. And we're going to talk about why you should consider investing it. And if you do, what you should be, what you should think about. And so, Hellfire Dragon, thanks very much. And so, this is the ultimate form, Untamable Twosome. And this battle skill is the same as the Earth one, where it can create up to 27 Light Power Gem 3s. And what it does is, it starts with 2, and then for every 12 Light Commander skill points, it goes up by another 2. And so this really adds up if you have a couple of them. So let's say you have the ultimate form. That means you already have this card, plus you have the Master Collection card. So just 2 of those cards together can really, just a couple of attacks will actually get you quite a bit of number of power gems. And it has a 4-turn cooldown. So the more Master Collection cards you have, the more you can stagger them. So just, you can actually do 1 and 2 if you have 3 of them. Or if you have even more, if you have 4 copies of those cards, then you can do 2 every 2 turns. So you can really sustain a lot of damage. And this is this also will create 3 Light Power Gem 2s every time this attack. So this is a nice Ultimate Form card. I actually rated this as the best Ultimate Form for the Earth one. at the time, because I think that this has the most versatility in terms of like a single ultimate form card that can really be used in any other deck, and this is definitely one of them. And also, the passive is the one that is different. If you notice that this will actually increase the hero's health by 100%, whereas the earth one actually increase the team's health. Okay, and so this is going to have a lower health overall. So like when you build up this team, you're going to notice that the health is going to be lower than the earth one, and that was probably because they didn't intend for the earth one to have that much health, and this is their adjustment. And so this is going to be a 100% increase of the hero for this particular event. We've seen this in Generation 2. We saw the Fire Alex deck that was very similar to this, so it's sort of like the upgraded version of that. And we can take a look at the other cards as well. So that's the ultimate form. So that, that card by itself is really great. And also these two cards, the Master Collection card, the Inglorious Outlaw, which actually looks a lot like Thor from the Avengers. So anyways, this card is the Master Collection card, and he will also create up to 27 Light Power Gem 2s. So not Light Power Gem 3s, but it's Power Gem 2s, but it's still quite a good number of them. And it also has an increased hero health. Now, it is an Immortal Killer, and so we've had previous Immortal Killers, and that is with the Drosselmeyer and I forget the ultra rare card, but that was the Immortal Killer bonus as well. So if you have that deck, then you can also use that in this particular event. You do have the same killer skills there. And the ultra rare card is one that will give you power gems every time you attack. So this is also a really nice deck together, because every time you attack with her in it, you're going to have more power gems. So if you take a look at her battle skill first, the battle skill will heal. It heals for 3200% recovery. And it also will dispel all buffs on the enemy. So what that means is it will dispel things like fear, might, and it also dispel dodge. All of those things that can really give you a hard time, especially fear, that will take away your battle skills, and also dodge, which makes it so that you can't actually attack a lot of times. And so that will actually dispel all of them. And if you dispel it all, you will heal for double the amount. So you can essentially always heal for 100%. And it does have a 3-turn cooldown, so it's not you can use it pretty often. So that's a really good healing card. And it also creates 3 Light Power Gem 2s every time you attack. So that's kind of nice there. And Christopher Woolridge, it looks like Dog Bounty Hunter. I guess it does have a little bit of similarities there. Excuse me, sorry about that. So the Earth one happened when they increased the damage from the campaign ultimates. Oh yeah, that was the same event when the campaign ultimates basically will one shot the entire deck. And so Sugar Plum, thank you for show. And Tracy Lee, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us here. And there was also another person I said I was going to say hi to, and that was going to be Shelby McBurger. So I just wanted to say hi to you from the chat. Hopefully you're in the stream here with me as well. Anyways, back to this card here. The ultra rare card, it's interesting. Like, this is the type of deck where this card is not absolutely essential, but it really fits nicely to this deck. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's not needed, and I wouldn't say it's useless. In fact, I think this card is really awesome, and you definitely will want to put this in the deck. But it's one of those cards where you'll want to use it, but I think the Master Collection card is really where you're going to get most of that damage output because of because of all the power gems that you're going to be able to create. But this card definitely is one that you'll want to keep in the whole team. And then, so that's the team there. And what's nice this time around is that they've also made it so that the killer bonus is now found on both the event card as well as the support card. So if you take a look at Walker Shielding Sheriff, he also has a killer skill now. He also has the Immortal Killer bonus. So this makes these decks, this particular deck, the best one against killer, against immortal bosses, which is going to be God and Blessed. And I can't remember which other one, but definitely those two. And so if you go up against any dark heroes that are, gods or blesseds, then you're going to want to use this one, because even the support card is going to deal double the amount of damage compared to other commander heroes. And so this will create 22 power gem once. So like I said, this is one of the best event cards in the game. Before it was Frankie, and now Walker is also the other one that will have really good power gem creation abilities. So this is a good card to get as well. It also has a 50% increase of health, so you can survive a little bit better. It's not going to be quite as nice as the Earth one, but this is a good deck for survivability as well. We'll take a look at the relics and see what they do as well, but I wanted to point out the support card. So Kinetic Gunner Annie, this is the support card, and what this will do is it will also heal. So this is very akin to Baleful Bride as well as the Pumpkin Queen, where they give you the heal, and every time you attack, you get some gems. This is less so like them, because Pumpkin Queen and Baleful Bride, they will passively create gems, whereas this one is more like the Fire Dragons and the Mines of Wendigo deck, where every time you attack, you get gems. So it's kind of like a mixture of those, but it's really nice in a commander event where you want to build up your commander skills, because you're always going to get more gems. So this will always create 4 gems every time you attack. And so if you have a few of these cards around, you're always going to be getting more gems, and then you're going to then be able to power up your relics to then deal more damage. And because now the support card has Immortal Killer bonus, you can also power up any ultimate gems, so that you don't need the ultimate form anymore, or the Master Collection card, or the ultra rare. The killer bonus is going to be applicable, like it's going to be available, and then it's going to power up the ultimate relic, which is a nice boost. So this is going to I think that this is a really good change. So you should be able to deal more damage than before using running just these support cards. So I think that this is going to be good. And so we got Highborn, right? So thank you for missing the information there, for filling the missing info. So let's see. So this is one of those decks where having just one ultra rare card is going to be sufficient, right? So I had the Earth version, and I had one ultra rare, and I had 2 Master Collection cards plus a shiny, and that worked out really, really well. And that's because I was able to pull the extra Master Collection cards and the follow up excuse me, in the follow up packs that came out. And if you take a look at the cards are for the collection, we got Sentinel Stars. You used to be able to reforge it. I can't remember if you can anymore or not, but this is definitely available in the 20 Dust Shop. And then also Apollo and Setting Sun is an ultra rare card. It's also available in the 20 Dust Shop. And then you've got Wella, the Sky Child, and this is in the 100 Dust Shop because it's an event card. This was with Orsang as well as Oglyph and also Gadrid from a long time ago. So these are the collection cards. I'm going to go ahead and claim my dust here. I don't actually have enough dust to be able to craft. So if I don't get the deck, it's going to be unfortunate, because I think that this is one of those decks I would have really liked to go after. So we're going to see if we can actually get lucky and pull this here. And so let's see. 4,800, I should be able to pull up to tier 4, so I can get at least the event card. So let's see. And it's also a super VIP vault, so that means you get 2 additional cards for being VIP. So give me a little bit... It gives me a little bit more opportunity to try and pull it. And Robert Burgos, I will show you what I mean by the 20 Dust Shop. It means if you don't have the card, you could potentially get the card in a Dust Merchant. And they do have these heroes available for you. It's a random drop. So it's not a guarantee, but if you open up, if you pull from that particular slot, there's a chance that you might be able to pull the hero. And so let's see. So I got 2 versions. I got Cerulean and I got Saffron of the Frozen Anvil. So I got 2 of the cards from the same event, both useless. And so, yeah, so not a great pull there. 100,000 Master Collection Dust. Let's open up tier 2 and see what we get. So we do get a support card as a guarantee. And I've never managed to actually just pull the entire deck outright from 4 tiers of pulls. So I'm hoping that I get a little bit lucky here. And so that was, so I get a second support card as my extra cards. So nothing good there. All right, so first two tiers. First two tiers, not much there. Would have been nice to actually get the relic. So here is going to be the guaranteed relic here. So let's see how we do in the third tier. So I can't forge either. So either the Master Collection card or the event card would be better, or the ultra rare. Although in this case, I would prefer the ultra rare card if possible. So since I get the relic first, I'm not sure if this means I'm not going to get any more gold rewards. So that's actually kind of sad if that's the case. Cellar Rabbit, Pristine Hammer. Oh, okay, so I get another one. And so I did call for another relic, so I got 2 relics here. And this seems to be the norm for me. Like if you guys have been watching me, you've seen that I basically always pull an extra relic, and I don't usually get the cards that I need. And what happened with me afterwards is if I were to pull from the packs after, I generally don't get the cards either. I just get more relics. So we're gonna be able to go with one more. Oh, I can't go one more. Oh, you know what I can do? I'm gonna go and claim my gold or my gems. I didn't actually claim my gems, so I'm gonna go ahead and claim this for now. That gives me 2,500, just enough to pull tier 4. So that's at least gonna get me the event card and hopefully something better. I mean, so far the super VIP vault pulls have not been very kind to me. It wasn't kind to me last event either. So let's see how we do this time. Tier 4, and we get another relic. And this is going to be the event card, Walker. And looks like the ultra rare card, so that's Annie Psychic Sharpshooter, so that's good. So there's the ultra rare card. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Master Collection card. So, I mean, if I do, that's great, but I don't think I will get that. If I do, then I can basically complete the deck. And no. So, almost got lucky there. So I do have the ultra rare card, and I do have the I do have the event card. So basically got 3 relics, got the ultra rare card and event card. So overall, I would say that is a lot better than I had hoped. If I had walked away with just the guarantee, that would have been sad. But I am also only left with 4 gems. So I'm gonna have to save up to open up the next pack. And so that's the pull right there. Now I can't really show you, but what I could do is I could talk about like sort of, you know, the makeup of the teams here. So what you could really do well is imagine if you had the ultimate form card, and what you could actually what you could do is you could really pair this well with the previous event deck, obviously. And one of the things that you could do is, you know, like I think even if you ran just this single card, I think would be okay. And then the rest of the cards you can then, you know, add. You can add. Let's see. So you definitely want to put her in, because like every time you attack, you're going to be able to get more power gems as well. And I would personally put in. Where did he go? The event card. I mean, like there's a lot of choices here. Since they have killer bonus, like I would want to just put them in. This is one of those decks where, because of the fact that they now have killer bonus, it doesn't make sense not to run them, even if they're just support cards and whatnot. And so really, like for me, you know, just being able to get more power gems is going to be helpful. And I think that this is going to be a nice mix, because I get immunity here plus additional power gems. And then, so now let's take a look here. And then what I can do here is the ultra rare card will, you know, continuously give me power gems every time I attack. And I could, so this is kind of nice. So this card gives me a dispel for all buffs, whereas, you know, Macne gives me a dispel on all debuffs, right? So it will cleanse all the debuffs against your heroes. And then the other ultra rare card will basically cleanse everything that is a buff to the boss. And so with these two, you can basically cleanse everything except if you're hit with Toxin, or I think this one is going to be Toxin, and yeah, I think Toxin will hurt this one. And I think, I'm not sure if Weaken No, it doesn't do weaken. So Toxin is going to make this not work, but essentially you're going to be covering most of your bases with just those 2 cards. And so I'll start with this for now. And I think that I should do fine. Like, I actually felt that I could just run the previous K-pop deck, and I'll be totally fine. And so, let's see. So Vishal, your prediction was Relic Master. You close. I got 3 relics and the ultra rare card. So I'm pretty happy about that. I would really like it if I did get the Master Collection card. Because then I could get the shiny, and this is a really good deck to have. Like the ultimate form is really good, so I like that. How come you always get ultimate tokens? Mike, I feel like I always get the magic tokens as well. So now I think somebody was asking about the dust shop, and so this is where you can go. If you go down here, you can see there is a dust merchant. And within here, there is the 3-star hero, 4-star, and 5-star, and it costs 20, 100, and 400 respectively. If you wanted to pull for one of the 2 support, if you wanted to get Apollo, or if you wanted to get a Sentinel Stars, those are going to be cards that you could potentially collect by opening up here. So what you do is you basically just keep opening, spend 20 pink dust to try and open to try and get the cards. Now, it's always a risk here, because if you get a dragon, then you can only sell it for 5 dust. But otherwise, these cards, Idalia the Bright, for example, you can sell them back for 20. And so you basically come out even. And see here, Lysias is the support card version of the card. And, so that it's definitely available in the pool. But the thing is, Apollo is going to be a little bit harder to get because it's an ultra rare card. And the thing about, and here's Orsang, and that's the event where Wella is in. And the thing is, if you wanted to pull Wella, for example, it is a 100 dust hero. And the pool for the 100 dust is a lot bigger, because that includes also all of the wardens. And so that makes it that much more, that many more heroes to pull from. And so the chances actually goes down. And so because of that, in the 4-star hero, this is where you get the event cards, the wardens, as well as all of the support and the ultra rare. And so if you don't have Wella, I would hold off on spending the 100 dust now, and just wait and see, number one, if you get it in the trophy rewards, tomorrow. And also potentially, I'm not sure which event they're going to run for the Drill Fist shop. They've typically been running the shop now so that you can actually get the hero that you're missing. It's like Drill Fist Deal Depot would usually run, basically when it refreshes, you'll probably get a Light Commander event card that you might not have. So you can also save your dust that way. But it is definitely available in there. It's just that there's a potential that you might lose a lot of your gems, your dust, by trying to pull it. I've had a lot of people commenting afterwards when I told them it is in the dust shop, and they would basically say, I spend like thousands of dust and I never got it. And that's the reason why. It's a big pool, and you're not always guaranteed to get it. And so yes, all of the cards are available in the dust pool. So again, like I'll mention here, the Apollo as well as Sentinel Stars is going to be in a 20, and Wella, the Sky Child, is going to be in the 100 dust shop. And so ideas matter. You got identical pulls, but you got a seasons pass, so you can get the 2 pink stars on the relic. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I chose not to get a season pass, but I can definitely see why that is a very good thing for many of you. So that basically anytime you get a relic, you're guaranteed to get a ultimate relic as well. So that's definitely a very nice thing. And given that whether you have the cards or not, like this particular deck will always power up the ultimate relic, that is actually a really good deal. And so let's see, here's, you think you mix the last Light Commander with 2 support and main card? Yeah, so you can definitely do that. Like let's say you don't have the full deck from the previous event. So you could still do something like this. If you have the Master Collection card, you could also do this. It does the same thing because you still get the double number of power gems, and you can really get the heal factor from both the support and the ultra rare. So this is going to be a card that can give you a lot of survivability because these support cards will always heal you, and it has a 3-turn cooldown. So Honestly, like you can run 2 of these cards. Like if you run 3 cards in your deck, you basically will always be able to heal every single turn. You just run one, you just activate one every turn. And in fact, what you want to do with these type of decks is I'm going to replace it so you can see. I'm going to be able to get my 4th support card as well, so I will show it then as well. Like these 3 cards, you don't want to activate all 3 of these at once. You only activate one at a time. So what you want to do is you want to activate one turn, and you activate another one the second turn, because they don't stack. You can't get more heal. Then it's not necessary. Like, you know, just one card is going to be good. The heals do stack. So if you need additional healing, you can, let's say, activate 2 support cards, and that's going to give you the heal you need. Or what you can do is you can also benefit yourself by adding a light relic that is a scepter. So if you have a light scepter, you should also consider putting this in if you're having hard time. If you're having just the support cards and you're finding yourself not healing enough, a light scepter is going to it's going to really help increase the heal from your cards, and so that's also going to help as well. And so I think this is a good deck to mix a lot of. You can mix a lot of different things in there. So like for light commanders, I do actually have quite a bit of options. Probably not going to use Janice because it creates 3, and I will need to add in the 3 sisters if I wanted to double it. It has a 4-turn cooldown, but it does increase the light commander attack, so there's a nice boost there. Or alternatively, if you have the Proving Grounds token, you're still waiting on one. And if you have, you know, the Drosselmeyer or the Sugar Plum, you can also. I think Sugar Plum is a support card. I forget now, but you can also, you know, get the ultimate form here, and this is also going to give you the Immortal Killer bonus. And so Innovator though does cost skill points. It costs 50 skill points, so it's a little bit hefty, but this is another card that you can also use. So I do have options there, so I'm going to play around and see what I can do there. But this is one of those decks where the support cards actually isn't a bad deal. So I actually do like this. Chromoslex, welcome here. And Be Like Billy, nice to see you here as well. And so Vishal with all Mystic Relics, I think it would be 55 skill points every turn. Yeah, so if you get all, so let's say you get relics. So this is now we can talk about relics here, right? So if you take a look at the light commander, just it doesn't even matter. As long as you have light commander relics, we can do this, and then I have 3 of these. Right, so as long as you have these relics here, that's 25 right there. And then for every support card and ultra rare card you have on the team, so this is going to give you 10 additional. This is going to give you, no, this one actually doesn't. So some ultra rare cards stop doing that, but support cards still do. Support cards will still give you additional skill points. So with 2 support cards here, it's going to give me another 20. And so that's going to give me basically 45 every turn. And I think this ultra rare card, does it increase? It doesn't. So they've stopped increasing the skills. So it's you know, skill points is actually relatively easy to build up now once you have more relics as well as the support cards. And so let's see. Chromoslex Theories haven't decided whether you're going to hold on to the gems for the next event. You could get a whole deck and don't have the complete fire deck. Yeah, so next event is going to be the Fire Slayer event. And so if you are trying to save gems, then definitely, by all means, you could definitely do that. If you are looking to invest, this deck wouldn't be a bad one to go after. It would be a lot of fun to use. I think that, you know, if I had to choose between the reset deck and this deck, I personally would actually prefer this deck over the reset. Just because this deck, no matter what card you get, it'll find some use in some deck later. Whereas the reset deck, I actually had this. So like I had the reset deck for dark, but then for water, this is what I got for the water reset. I got the ultra rare card Cannon Blast Barbarossa, and I couldn't use this card in anything. Basically, like this card resets a specific cards, and I didn't have any of them. And so it basically just became a card that I used just for additional attack because it had the 13 times commander bonus, but it didn't help my team at all. And so it felt really bad to get that. Like I was able to pull an ultra rare card, but I couldn't be excited about it. Whereas this particular deck, everything in here is useful. Every card is useful, even if it's just a support card, because you could still dispel and heal. Not many cards can give you that ability, and it's a Generation 3 card, and it has killer bonus. And so this is, for me personally, I think that it's a very friendly deck at all spending levels. And if you just get a couple of tiers and you don't have anything except for the guarantee cards, you will still do fine. Like, this is one of those events where I will show you that if you had just the event card, this is still going to be a good deck to use. You're still going to be able to really do a lot of damage. And there's still a potential for me to pull a second one here as well in the trophy bonus, and I wouldn't actually mind that. So I am going to try to get the Master Collection card if I can. I will be a little sad if I don't pull it, but I'm not going to spend to go after that. I think that it is, just for me personally, I will do what I can with it. I am keeping my fingers crossed, but it is a very good deck to have. It'll be a lot of fun. And so I see a question there. To get the killer bonus, does event card have to be in the center or anywhere else? So Curious, as long as the card is on your team and the boss that you're fighting against is either Highborn or Blessed or God, it will activate you. So basically, it doesn't matter. It does not have to be center. Mount Fillmore, on a scale of 1 to 10, how high would I rate this deck? So if 10 is like the best, from a commander deck perspective, this is a good solid. I would say this is an 8. So really good deck. And the reason why, and I think the K-pop deck is going to be about 8.5 to 9 for me. And the reason I say that is because I don't see this deck to be as useful in guild versus guild type events, whereas the K-pop deck that I use all the time basically is where did I go? I think it's here. The K-pop deck, and the fire version of this has more versatility in the wave fights. So in the wave fights, in sort of like the guild versus guild fights, really, this actually stands out a little bit more. But in terms of versatility and reusability, this deck I think is right up there. So these two are my favorites for commander events. Of all the mechanics that I've seen so far, this will definitely be it. If you want to compare it against everything with the Slayer event decks, it's hard to say just because it's two fundamentally very different types of decks. But then if you look at how this deck performs against for example, if you take this deck and you went up against a Gold Legend boss, and I think this is a chaotic killer, so it was actually perfect against Sentry Storm, it takes it out in like one shot, right? But then again, most of the decks nowadays with the right killer skill will do that for you, so that's not really as big of a deal for me. It's just that I could take the Devilish Duel and I can throw it in any deck, and it's going to give me that power. As long as I can get the skill points high enough, I can always guarantee to get a really good number of power gems, and it can always power my hero. I could stop spending for all Earth Commander events from now on, and I will be fine with this single deck. And I think that with the K-pop type decks, you can also get about the same kind of output, although I would say that this is going to be a little bit less. So Sunflare Mercenaries, for example, like this gives you 8 power gems every single time, and because you're always going to have 4, and then you need another card to give you the status to be able to get double. And what's nice is this card gives you immunity and everything, but it doesn't power the team quite as much as the Halloween type deck would. So that's why I rate it pretty high. So for me, I just feel that it is a fun and solid deck to use. And if you get it, even if you don't get the ultimate form, this is not one of those decks that I feel it's an ultimate form or bust. So that's how I feel about it. This is this light deck is actually one I feel that stands well on its own, despite the fact that I don't have the full team. I think that with what I've got so far, it actually works well. I actually do enjoy this. And so Commonwealth MD, this team is good on the, yeah. So also in the exactly, actually in the Proving Grounds, this deck works really well because if you use, you know, a few of those, let's see, where did it, like with this particular deck, throw in like, you know, the Count and the Devilish Duel in there, one of them can get stunned and the other one can still give you 27 power gems for the, you know, the damage boost that you need. Not many cards in this entire game has that ability at this point, except for the Generation 2 cards, but they're now much weaker compared to the Generation 3 cards, so they won't really give you as much of a, you know, that boost, whereas these cards will always stand on its own. So this is why I really enjoy this deck here. So Eric Lefebvre, would folks say that a 3-star Ultimate Form and 3-star Ultimate Relic Light Hope Justice deck be as good as this deck? So if you've got a 3-star Ultimate Form, it's going to work really well when the killer bonus is applicable, and it just in general you're going to get a really good damage output, and I think that you should be fine. Like you're going to get enough damage output to do just fine without this particular deck, and I think it works really well. And so the one thing I didn't talk about is the Ultimate Relic. And Be Like Billy, no, this is not a new mic. I just switched the location, so like I made it so that it's a little bit closer to the other side, and actually I had my mic sort of, you know, in the back of my monitor before, and it was always a little bit further away when I talk, and I always have to adjust it. So I just kind of moved it to the other side, and this is actually closer to you know, the direction I'm speaking in. So hopefully it sounds a little bit clearer. This is the Blue Yeti microphone. I really enjoyed this. It's not that expensive of a mic, and I think it works really well. So anyways, what I wanted to talk about is the relic. I wanted to see the Ultimate Relic here. Didn't actually discuss this. In general, I think that I need to talk about this more, just kind of so we can see what it does. So 1-star gives you a critical strike buff attack, so basically gives you more attack, and then this one gives you more attack when you're low on HP, increase attack. So basically this is just more attack stack on top of attacks, whereas some ultimate relics, they would give you additional benefits, like it'll give you heal, or it gives you immunity or something like that, whereas this one, it gives you additional damage output. So when the enemy is buffed, so this there's a situation here, then basically you will damage more for every light commander ultimate relic you get. You're gonna get more damage output as well, and you can also critically strike with 200% increased attack. So basically just more damage. That's basically what you get here, and then you can also get more attack when you're under 50%. So that's a 3-star. No, sorry, that's a 4-star. But with a 3-star, you get increased attack, and basically it's the same thing here. And then with 1-star, you also already get the same thing. You get that attack boost if you're below 50%, and you have the same 5% chance to critically strike, and also you get the outgoing damage by 5%. So even at just 1-star, you get this. So it is a nice ultimate relic for damage purposes. So let's see. Judge of all, if I had the dust to craft, would I? I think so. The reason I say that is because for me personally, I feel like I have now sort of my go-to for Light Slayer. I'm sure they're gonna come up with, you know, I'm sure they're gonna come up with new mechanics that's gonna make me really want to go after them. But honestly, with the Relentless Scholars and the Enlightened Yokai, I feel that I am very satisfied with my Slayer damage output, and anything I get after that is going to be just, you know, gravy for me. And to me personally, I feel that this deck is worth going after. If you didn't have the Earth one, I think that this is actually a deck that's worth having an ultimate form for. But that's just me, because I don't mind if I can't get the Light Slayer next time. I think that this deck is going to be a lot of fun. And so it's just that I don't have it. Let me take a look and see how much dust I have at this point, actually. So I have 13 there's a chance that I might be able to earn enough dust in this event. I think that I need to get 4.3 thousand for the ultra rare. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get that. I might. I might be able to get that. And if I do, then I might actually end up crafting. But I don't need the ultra rare. I just need the master collection card. So if I don't end up pulling it from the packs, I might just craft it myself at the end of the event, just because I think that it stands really well on its own. It's worth going after. Personally, for me, that's how I feel. More the power creep is real. I think that is a standard now in this game. I don't think that, like, I can't deny it. The power creep is always going to be there, and depends on what they do. I mean, it doesn't make the previous cards any less useful, to be honest, because like last event I didn't get the event either. I basically used I actually used my, so this is the card I got. Right, so I got Champion of the Dead, but I didn't really use it all that much because I did not like the event. I did not like the Master Collection card. Instead, what I did was I traded my my jockey, my goblin, for a soul, and I used my Proving Grounds to get the Leading Light to get my ultimate form, and that worked really well. And so same thing if you have the option to get the Drosselmeyer ultimate form, it will work really well for you this event as well. And I think this is where you're going to start seeing the benefit of getting the ultimate forms now that we're cycling through the killer skills. If you've had one particular ultimate form, it's still going to be useful in the future events. So that is the one nice thing about these decks. I don't think they're going to be completely useless like in Generation 2. Generation 2 literally got to a point where your cards will be useless like a week after your like basically by the next event you can no longer use it. I think this is one of those cases where you can still use previous event cards even after a whole cycle, right? So like the Earth one, I could still use it, and it's been about a year, right? So Furious Goblin Jockey is still a useful card even after about a year of it coming out. And so I think that while the power creep has definitely steadily increased, I think that the card's ability to help you stay competitive has at least stayed relatively stable, right? So that's actually how I feel about it. So like I'm not saying that things haven't changed. I'm what I recognize is that the cards are still getting more and more powerful, but because of the way the ultimate form killer skill works, you could actually benefit from it if you've made one-time investment in the past. You can still benefit from it. In some cases, it's not always the case. Like if you got the Timeless Lovers, unfortunately, you wouldn't want to use that, but it's still something that is useful if you didn't want to invest. So like that's I think that is at least a good thing there. So let's see. Chroma sucks. You missed my pulls. What am I gonna go with? If you missed my pulls, I basically got 1 ultra rare, 2 support cards, and the event card, and I did get 3 relics. And so what I'm gonna go with is a mixture of the K-pop deck and also the event cards here. Most likely, I'm going to just go with a single ultimate form and the ultra rare from the K-pop, and then the rest of them I'm going to use these cards just to play around with. But for me, I think that I could use these cards also to power up my deck, right? So what I can do is I can also power up my deck with these cards, and then I could take advantage of. So I can take advantage of the power gems to then take down the boss here, and then because this has a 200% killer bonus, I can also deal additional damage there. So that is probably what I will go with. I'll experiment. I'll try around. So Hellfire Dragon 4.6 in Master and 4.9 Ultra Dust are rewarded with VIP. Thank you. I know that there's a chart out there somewhere. I know that Ronan Ross has shared it as well. So thank you for sharing that also. And since I just need about 3,000 for a Master Collection card, that means that I will be able to get it, provided I can collect up to that point, which shouldn't be too bad. So let's see. Eric Lefebvre, you're at the point where if you cannot pull a complete deck, you go for boosting your existing decks in Anniversary Vault, which is also not a bad deal. And so this week, you're going to have two really good decks to go after, so you can make a decision. Honestly, either one of those two are totally fine. And if you don't get good pulls this event deck, you can also fall back on the K-pop one, but then you're going to have to spend more gems for that. But spending gems on those also means you get more dust, so that helps you get the cards also. So there's also that balance there. So Chroma sucks. K-pop has beast, so it's going to be, yes. So, the way it works is the previous event killer skill is always going to be applicable for at least, a third of the time, plus half of your bosses is going to, half of your keys is going to be used against the other half, so you're going to at least get that benefit. And also you can use that against ultimate boss. And so I just think that K-pop is, I'm going to give it a try, but I feel like just, even using K-pop is going to be good enough for most bosses. Like, it's going to easily take out the legend bosses, even with, if you think about it, legend bosses, you can't use killer skill against it anyway. And K-pop is going to be super awesome against the legends. You're going to be able to take it out easily, like prestige 1 or 2. Like, I know that they've increased the health, and so I think that because the commander gem bonus has decreased now, you might not be able to go too much higher with just a single key, but at least prestige 1, and maybe I'll have to try prestige 2 with the K-pop deck on the legend bosses. But my experience was it was like very easy. And so I think that's the reason why I say that these two are going to be really strong decks for you to use, and you should have no problems taking it out. So let's see. So tomorrow there's going to be the K-pop revive in the first 2 tiers. Yeah, so you can get additional dust there. I have 4, so I'm gonna wait until I get my my gems from my. Let's see. I think I didn't claim. Yeah. So I actually had some from today, so that makes me feel a little bit better. It would be really sad to just be staring at 4 gems the entire time. So I'll be able to get some gems there as well, and then I could then hopefully pull a couple more. I don't know. Like, for me, I'm not sure if I want to spend the gems to chase after the packs, but I just need a Master Collection card, and I could definitely craft it. And so I'm gonna make a decision. Maybe after a couple of days of playing, I'll see if I can get to my 3,000 mark. And as Vishal said, I could also just pull tier 1 of the other pack, and that's going to give me at minimum 800, if not 1,000 Master Collection card dust, which is also going to help. So there are a lot of different ways for me to go here. Spidey Jack, thank you very much. I did have a very good vacation. I would I would go back there, and there are definitely a lot of places I didn't check. If you missed it, I was in South Korea. I was in Seoul for a week, and I really enjoyed it. I've done this whole Asia trip now this year. So earlier in the summer, if you remember, I was away for 4 weeks. Actually, I did a whole like Southeast Asia tour. Not just Southeast Asia. I was also in Japan, and I was in Singapore, and I was in Malaysia and Taiwan. It was a really good trip, and this time sort of rounded out the trip with Korea. And so I'm pretty happy actually with the time that I had to spend there. Definitely go back again. And Mount Fillmore, have I checked out Era of Chaos? No, I actually haven't. So I do play other games, and the only other games I've streamed now is Auto Chess. That's the only other game I've streamed, but definitely would be up for streaming other games as well. If it depends on the audience. Like, if you guys are going to be up for watching me try out other games, I definitely wouldn't mind, in off times doing other streams. And let me know. Let me know what you like to see. I will definitely take feedback, and I will definitely give it a try as well. So Eric Lefebvre, did they increase the number of bosses to get rewards last event? I'm not sure if they did anything different, and all I know is that in Slayer events now is just like gone crazy with the world bosses. So I think that it's just it's probably just easier to get the rewards now, because the number of Cobalt bosses was a lot higher, and so a lot of people were able to get the higher amount of points. That's probably why. Li Shang, is there an order to activate the full event deck? Yes. it's actually pretty simple. I'm going to show you using this deck here. So basically, the way that you want to activate a Halloween type deck, I'm going to show you with this. So Master Collection cards on the left, here's the Ultimate Form, and here's the Ultra Rare. You can replace the Ultra Rare with a support card if you want, but basically the way that this works is you want to maybe do a couple attacks, get your skill point to about, I don't know, 50, 60 or so, and then you can just activate all of your Master Collection card and event card and ultimate form, and you're going to fill up the board after maybe 2 turns. And if you need a heal, then you go ahead and activate the ultra rare card or the support card. So basically, support card and ultra rare card only activate when you need to heal. They don't do anything else otherwise. They do dispel, so if you need to dispel a buff like fear, for example, that's when you use it. Otherwise, just activate your cards every 4 turns. But if you have more Master Collection cards, like for me, I have 4 total. At one point, once your skill point gets high, you could just activate 2, and then 2 turns later, activate another 2, and then this way you can actually do 2 turns basically activate every 2 turns. Works really well in ultimate bosses or those high bosses where you need to do sustain damage. It's really easy. This is a really easy deck to play. So you'll find that it's quite simple. Catherine McIntyre, would you craft a Master Collection card and use gems on K-pop? If you only got support cards for K-pop, I guess it depends on how many gems you have. Like it's not a bad investment. Honestly, K-pop is not a bad investment at all. If nothing else, you will end up getting a great GVG deck against all dark bosses if you have this deck. And so if you can craft it for the event team for the ultimate form, and you can get the K-pop deck, that means you're going to have a killer deck against your bosses. So yeah, I think that might be a not a bad idea at all. So Joe wants to know, yeah, I really enjoy the travel. And so Mel Fillmore, let's see. So he's been on Hero, Might, and Magic series. I see. Okay, yeah. So I guess that's more. That's something that I could definitely check out. So Era of Chaos, I'll check it out after the stream, and then I'll plan for a time to play it. And if it has sort of like guild mechanics or any other like aspects where I can interact with people, let me know. I'll give it a try, and maybe I can interact with you guys as well. Oh, and one last thing, don't forget to get your Head Start pack. As usual, my recommendation is if you are just starting out and you don't have the cards to do anything, you could choose not to go with it. But honestly, with the cards now having killer bonus, I think you should have no problem taking out the first 50 levels of the bosses. And so I would recommend just going ahead with the Head Start pack. Even if you're just starting out, as long as you have some of the cards from this event, you should have no problems. Okay. Chroma Sucks, traveling is definitely awesome. Yeah, so like it's definitely something I want to do more often. I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, the K-pop deck is definitely worth getting. It's like you're gonna find yourself doing much better in Guild versus Guild events just because of that deck. So S. Thomas, a lot of new people in Guild always referring to my beginner tutorials. Thank you so much. So my beginner series is a little bit out of date now because I did it over a year ago. I do have other videos I am sort of planning on coming out, sort of more tips and tricks. It's going to be shorter videos that are going to be just focused on tips and tricks for things like, I think somebody requested how to do effective clock stopping, how does it work, and things like that. So that's definitely something I plan to come out with so that it's going to be more helpful as well. I'm going to try and do more of the tips and tricks focused videos, and the streams are where I get to interact with you guys and answer some questions and stuff, so that maybe that will be how I could split the videos here. And also as much as I could, I will also do a deck mechanic video just so I can help you understand how to use this particular deck, activation order, things like that. And of course give me comments, leave me as many comments as you like, and let me know what your thoughts are. Feedback is always appreciated, so I can be better for these videos, and I can help you out there. And so, Marilena, welcome. Thank you for joining us, and hope you're having a good day so far. So Era of Chaos. I will definitely try that out. And Chroma Sucks, the new T-Bone 2.0 training tips. Yeah, I do need a refresher. Like, my beginner video is one of the more popular videos, and I really am thankful for that. But given that they've changed it quite a bit since then, I think a lot of the things I talked about was still useful. But I think I think that there is still more things I could do to help people understand how to play this game better. And so I'll definitely be working on that. And so just keep an eye out. Okay. And so that's basically what I wanted to cover. So quickly to summarize, and so in the future, I wanted you guys to know, like, in the future, whenever you watch one of these streams, you can expect that at the very end, I'm going to do a quick summary so that you don't have to listen through everything if you don't want to. But basically, this deck is a really strong deck to go after. It is a Halloween type deck where the Master Collection card is going to give you a lot of power gems as well as your event card. Ultra Rare card and your support card are going to give you a deep dispel of the debuffs, and they can give you a heal, which is also really good. And all of the cards have killer bonus, so I believe that this is a deck worth going after. It is a deck worth using your dust to craft if you like this. If you want, I think that it's going to be worth it. Unless you really want to save for a light slayer and you don't have anything else, that is something to consider. But I think that this would be good. The other revival pack is going to be the K-pop deck. It's also another deck that is worth going after. So if you're looking to get the ultra rare card or Master Collection card to fill out the ultimate form, it is definitely worth it. These are the two decks I think that for light commander decks, these are the two strongest in the game right now. So either one of those two will do you. Will be worth it for you to go after. And so it's going to be a good event, and I am hoping that I'll be able to get it myself, but that is my recommendation for this particular event deck. I like it. I'm happy about it. It is also friendly for the free play, so I will give options for how you can use this deck effectively without the full deck, and we'll see how that goes. So yes, so that is pretty much it for this particular stream. So I wanted to say thank you everybody again for joining me here and for helping me helping me out. It's really helpful to hear your thoughts and feedback, and you guys have been really great. Really appreciate it. And so the next time I join you guys will be it might not be this Thursday, because Thursday my son has an event, and I do want to make sure I take him. So it's either going to be much later in the day, so it'd be like an after dark stream, or it might be a little bit after that. But that will be the deck where that'll be the stream where I will talk about the deck building with you guys, and we can see how that works out. And in between, I will see if I can come out with a mechanic video. But I do have one for the Earth equivalent, so that's something that you can use as well. Okay, so thank you everybody. Have a good event. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I wish you best of luck in your event pulls. And hope everybody gets an ultimate form, because I think everybody deserves to use this awesome deck. So thank you very much. Take care, and I will see you next time. All right.